Hello, welcome to 7 Days to a New Way. My name's Kay Ashley and I'm an advanced EFT practitioner. And if you've not heard of that, it stands for Emotional Freedom Technique, and it's also called tapping, because what we actually do is we use the ends of our fingers to tap on certain points around our body, which is really easy. It's a really simple system to use. But it's like anything, a lovely simple tool can then take many years to actually master. And so what I would like to do is to show you properly how to use this tool, and towards the end of the week on the 7 days, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be looking really more deeply at EFT and how we can use it to unblock those limiting beliefs, to help dissolve them, to really start to get out of our own way. But the first part of the week, I'm going to show you a system that I developed for myself, actually. I kind of fell into quite deep anxiety and stress about 5 years ago. And there was many factors for that. And I'm sure at some point, I will share with you what was going on to get me there. But I actually kind of was in it for quite a while before I suddenly thought, hang on a minute, I've got the tools. Why am I not using them? And that's another good question. Why don't we help ourselves more? And that's quite an interesting topic in itself. So what I wanted to find was, I wanted to develop a system that actually, if you know anything about EFT, you'll know that there's kind of a setup. We do a set pattern, and we look very specifically. But when you're feeling really stressed, when you're really anxious, that's kind of the last thing you want to do. And you may feel the same. You may really like yoga, you might really like mindfulness, and you know these things really work for you. But actually when the chips are really down, they can be like the hardest thing to do. We all know that meditation can be great, but when your mind's going everywhere, it becomes an impossible task. So what I did was I kind of put, over my years, I'm in my 50s, and I've been on a search ever since I was young. I just had one of those lives. There was a lot of stress around me from the moment I drew breath. And I noticed things like irritable bowel and anxiety and, food issues and all sorts of things as I was growing up. And then, I went out into the world. I actually became a hairdresser. And I discovered that actually not everybody suffered the way I was, and that other people had other ways of dealing with things, different ways of looking at the world. And I stood behind thousands of people over my 30 years and just listened to these amazing stories, their struggles, what works, what doesn't, how they tick. And I kind of just unwittingly ended up inside their heads. And because this is a real great passion of mine, I just went on that journey. And one day I was talking to a psychiatrist friend that I really well respected, and he told me about EFT. And if he hadn't recommended it, I probably would have walked on by. And if right now you're thinking, oh my goodness, this is a bit woo-woo, I don't think I can be into this, what I would say is that each time I work, say, with people one-to-one, quite often, to be honest, I am the last resort for them because they've tried everything else. And, and I think, oh, okay, I've got nothing to lose, I'll give this a go. And the look on their face when you get them to tune into how they're feeling, and then you go through quite a simple routine for a few minutes, and then you get them to think about it again, and this kind of disbelief comes across their face, and they can't figure out what's happened. Why do they feel better? And so it has to be an experience, to feel it. So what I'd say is, suspend your disbelief, because if you're here, if you're listening to this, it means that you're getting in your own way in some way. There's things in life you want to do. You're just suffering. Maybe you're suffering with anxiety. Maybe it's overwhelm. And let's face it, with all of this that we've had over the time with coronavirus, the world just changed, didn't it? And we all had to adapt, and that's hard. Adapt and change is difficult. So if you have these tools, everything in life gets easier. So this isn't just about 7 days. This is about learning some fundamental tools that you can take on for life. And that might be enough for you. There's going to be no hard sell at the end of this. I am going to be opening a membership, a really low cost membership. So there's going to be no hard sell for me at all, because I truly believe that we are all on a path, and it's important that we are on the path where we need to be. Now, you might be someone that's going, yeah, actually, everything you give me, I want it. Or you might be like, well, I don't know. And that's fine. And wherever you are is exactly and perfectly where you should be. So there will be no push. This is a journey. And this is a journey from now for the rest of your life. And so just allow it to unfold and unpack. And, this free group will be there. I'm not closing it down. It's not a pop-up group. It's not something that, you have for 2 weeks and then it all closes down and you have to either move on or lose it. It's not going to be like that. This teaching is going to be there. The fundamentals of this self-work will be there, and it will continue to be there. So that level will always be free. And it is, what I'm going to teach you this week is exactly what took me out of that anxiety. And I was in quite a bad way, I have to tell you. And it took me out of that really quite quickly. So I would just love to share it with you. I'm not promising you're going to have quite, miracle conversion or that anything's going to be amazing. But let's face it, if we can lighten things even a little bit, even if you come out of this feeling more equipped, able to calm, knowing that this is a tool you have to your fingertips, is going to have been worth the time, basically. So that's it from me for now. And the sign up is, I'm trying to think which way around it would be. I'm not sure. It'll be to the side. one side, if you're on a tablet or a desktop, the sign up will be one side or the other. Or it will be down below if you're on a phone. So you are more than welcome, and what's going to happen is you'll sign up and it will take you to the Facebook group, and there's a couple of little questions there. Just confirm your email, and what we're going to do is, so don't worry, I won't let you in straight away, because what I want to do is get everyone together, open the doors all together. It won't be very much longer, and we'll all start together. So I really look forward to getting to know you better and supporting and helping you out. Okay, take care.